Translation. A cruel, unwretched person who maintains his existence at the cost of others deserves to be killed for his own well-being. Otherwise, he'll go down by his own actions. Please repeat the translation. A cruel, unwretched person who maintains his existence at the cost of others' lives deserves to be killed for his own well-being. Otherwise, he'll go down by his own actions. Purport. A life is just punishment for a person who cruelly and shamelessly lives at the cost of another's life. Political morality is to punish a person by death sentence in order to save a cruel person from going to hell. That a murderer is condemned to a death sentence by the state is a good for the culprit, because in his next life he will not have to suffer for his act of murder. Such a death sentence for the murderer is the lowest punishment offered to him. And it is said in the Shruti Shastras that men who are punished by the king on the principle of life for a life is purified of all their sins, so much so that they may be eligible for being promoted to the planets of heaven. According to Manu, the great author of civic codes and religious principles, even killer of an animal is to be considered a murderer, because animal food is never meant for the civilized man. Whose prime duty is prepare himself for going back to Godhead. He says that in the act of killing an animal, there is a regular conspiracy by the part of sinner, and all of them are liable to be punished as murderers, exactly like the party of conspirators who killed human being combinedly. He who gives permission, he who kills an animal, he who sells the slaughtered animal, he who cooks the animal, he who administers distribution of the foodstuff, and at the last, he who eats such cooked animal food are all murderers, and all of them are liable to be punished by the laws of nature. No one can create a living being despite all advancement of material science, and therefore no one has the right to kill a living being by one's independent whims. For the animal eaters, the scriptures have sanctioned restricted animal sacrifices only, and such sanctions are there just to restrict the opening of slaughterhouses and not to encourage animal killing. The procedure under which animal sacrifice is allowed in the scripture is good both for the animal sacrificed and animal eaters. It is good for the animal in the sense that the sacrificed animal is at once promoted to the human form of life after being sacrificed at the altar, and the animal eater is saved from the grosser types of sins, eating meat supplied by the organized slaughterhouses, which are ghastly places for breeding all kinds of material afflictions to the society, country, and the people in general. The material world is itself a place always full of anxieties, and by encountering animal slaughter, the whole atmosphere becomes polluted more and more by war, pestilence, famine, and many other unwanted calamities. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Namo Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamy Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Pachyatya Deshatarine. Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktarunda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Yeah, this sloka says, any man who is living his life at the cost of others' lives by killing others is he has to be killed by the society or by the laws of the society. Otherwise, after his death, he has to rotten in the hell and he has to face so many sufferings and punishments. Just to show mercy to him, if you kill him, he'll be purified. According to Manu Samhita, it is told that a murderer has to be punished with a death sentence so that he'll be freed from that killing act and he'll be relieved from going to hell. Like that it's told. Not only that, even if you kill an animal, not only killing an animal, even if you cook an animal food and supply to the people, and the people who are eating, the person who is purchasing and bringing to the home from the market, the person who is slaughtering the animal, and the person who is growing the animal and selling for the slaughter, all the people has the equal amount. All the people have their share of sin. Everybody has got their share of sin to suffer. So don't think, I have not killed an animal to suffer. I am just eating, that's all. A mother can think, I'm just cooking, what is there? Even though maybe I'm a vegetarian, but I'm just cooking for the sake of my family. Long back, not very long back, 4 or 5 years before, some people who is worshipping Gaurnitai, that Mataji, she don't want to cook meat in her house. So their entire family is against her. No, you have to cook so that we want to eat. They force so much so that she, by keeping Gaurnitai in their house, she don't want to cook. She has to return Gaurnitai to us, and then again she started cooking. She may thinking, only for my family's sake I am cooking, I am a vegetarian. No, you are a vegetarian, that is okay, that you keep it aside, but you are cooking, no? And you are supplying. You have your share of sin. Maybe little less, but you have your share. A person who is growing an animal, he may think, no, I'm just growing an animal, that's all. I'm not doing anything. But you are selling to slaughterer, right? You know that it's going to be killed. And wantedly you are selling. The people who grow an animals, they'll show so much care and attention to them, it seems. Even if one animal misses, they'll go very furious. Where is that animal? They'll go and search entire forest and they'll bring that animal back. So much love and affection they are showing. But at the end, what you are doing, that matters. At the end, you are selling to the slaughterer. So you have your share. The slaughterer who is actually slaughtering the animal has got his share of sin. The person who is bringing from market to home, yes, he also has got your share. Not only in this animal killing, any activity done in this material world binds the living entity to this material world. You think, no, I'm just working. Work is worship. Work is God for me. Where you are working? I'm working in manufacturing a machine guns so that people can fight and kill themselves. No, work is worship for me, Prabhuji. How can you say? I'm just working, I'm getting my money. I'm just manufacturing, helping in manufacturing. But where that machine guns is used? Machine guns used by militants or machine guns used by soldiers, that also matters. Whether your boss is genuine, he's genuinely supplying to the right people, or with greed is supplying to the dacoits or Naxalists or whatever it may be, terrorists, whomever is supplying. And they're killing innocent people. If you are working for a person and that person is supplying weapons to dacoits and Naxalism terrorists, whoever it may be, you have got your share of sin. Because you have not checked whether this person is genuine or not, whether he is doing correctly or not. You may think, yes, you checked everything, that is good. He is supplying only to some government officials only, for the soldiers. They are fighting and they are protecting the country. Then you don't get sin. Yes, you don't get maximum kind of sin. But if it is not authorized by the Shastras, if it is not authorized by the Vedas, you will get a portion of sin. You will get a small portion of sin still. Why? Because Vedas or Supreme Personality of Godhead has to approve that war. Kurukshetra, nobody has got sin because Lord Krishna approved that. It's a Dharma Yuddha. What war is going on in current situation, is that war is really a Dharma Yuddha? If you think so. If you think it is really a Dharma Yuddha and all, yes, if it is really sanctioned by God, approved by God, not sanctioned by God, it is approved by God, yes, you don't get sin. But it is not approved by God, you will get a sin, maybe little less. Because you are supplying to an authorized person, government officials like that. That case. Then what should I do? You are telling, if I work somewhere also, even food, no, okay, I'm not working in making machine guns, all these things. I'm working in a field and producing grains for which people can eat. Then you don't get a sin? Yes, you don't get a sin. If they utilize properly. If they utilize properly. If they didn't utilize properly, then you'll get a sin. You sold to a person and all the grains is stocked in godowns and is not supplying to the people. When the grains cost is reached peak, then he started supplying to the people. This is also a sin. Prabhu, you are telling everything is sin. What to do now? We should not do any work. We should not do any work or what? We should simply sit in the house and do just Hare Krishna Maha Mantra, chant Hare Krishna Maha Mantra and sleep, that's all. We should not do any work. Because any work binds us to this material world. And you may ask one more question. See, everything is sanctioned by Krishna, cause of all causes. According to Brahma Samhita, Krishna is telling, I am the cause of all causes. Even in Bhagavad Gita, Krishna is telling. Krishna is the cause, no? Then what is our part in doing sin? Krishna is the cause of all causes. Krishna is sanctioning that war. Krishna is not approving but sanctioning the war because they are adamant. That's why Krishna sanctions sometimes. But he don't approve. Please understand the difference between sanctioning and approving. Until unless Krishna sanctions, nothing, even a blade of grass cannot move. Then, even until unless Krishna sanctions, an animal cannot be slaughtered. Then, sin should go to Krishna, no? Why it is coming to everyone else? Krishna is sanctioning. Yes or no? If Krishna sanctions only, animal can be slaughtered. If Krishna sanctions only, war can happen. Then entire sin should go to Krishna, not to us. Yes? Yes or no? No. How it will go to Krishna? Yeah. The thing is that Veda says, Vyasadeva says, Karta Shastravat Vattat. And Baldev Vidyabhushan says in his Govinda Bhashya, Jiva is the doer, not the material nature, and not the Krishna who sanctions. Because Jiva is desiring. Jiva, what he is doing? Jiva is desiring. Jiva is desiring. That's why you get your share of sin. You're desiring to eat meat. That's why animal has to be slaughtered. Everything else is happening. Krishna has to sanction. Because of your desire, material nature facilitates. Ultimately, Krishna sanctions that. But material nature doesn't incur any sin. Krishna doesn't incur any sin. Because you are desiring. Many people are desiring culminatively. A cluster of people is desiring to eat meat. That's why slaughterhouses are open worldwide. In India, one thing we are in number one. What is that? In vegetarians, India is in first position. Even the many non-vegetarian is there, around 50 to 60% in India. I think 50, I forgot, 48 or 50% people in India are vegetarian still now. Other countries are little less. At least we are proud, Indians, we are number one in vegetarianism. But still, many people, a cluster of people are desiring to eat meat. To sanction that desire, Krishna allows everything else. Again, a cluster of people is desiring to fight and occupy the land. Because their desire is such these things, again Krishna is forced to sanction. And everything else has to happen. Because of their desires, they'll incur sin. Of course, Krishna is sanctions because of their desire. You may ask, Krishna don't desire anything else for us? Yes, Krishna desires that Jiva has to come back to me so quickly. That is Krishna's genuine desire. A genuine living entity has to cope up with the Krishna's desire. Yes, I want to go back very quickly to Krishna. Shri Radha Govind ki jai, Shri Nitai Gaurang ki jai, Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Yes, I want to go back to Krishna very quickly. And Shri Radha Govind ki jai. Yes, I want to go back to Krishna very quickly. To that, how should I act? His inquiry should be that one. And he should desire accordingly. And he should change his desires. Then you may question, see, I'm unable to change my desires. I'm just the things surrounding me happening in such a way that I'm unable to come out. I'm unable to come out of that boundaries. How many of you thinks like this? I'm unable to come out of that boundaries. Many of us will think, yes. Because we have done so many impious activities in our past life, we have desired very badly in our past lives, we are pulled to these acts and actions and reactions in this life. Suppose you think a person falls in a sea, will he got a freedom? No, he don't got a freedom where he want to go. The waves will take him this side, that side, this side, like that. Ether and thither, he'll be pulling. He'll be pushing. One wave will push to that side. Again from that side, one more wave come and push this side. Like that, simply he'll be oscillating in the ocean. Our situation also in the same way in this material world. Because of our past desires. But still there is a chance is there. Desire correctly and desire for Krishna and his service. Desire for Krishna's service and act correctly. And approach a genuine spiritual master like that. Immediately you will be purified from your desires. And you will get a path, right path to go back to home, back to Godhead. And Krishna is telling, even don't worry. Even if you falls down from this path, what will happen? Krishna is telling very quickly you'll come back to this path again. Means today I'll fall down, tomorrow again I'll come back. No, Krishna says very quickly means, see, from millions of lifetimes we are there in this material world and suffering in this material world. And in this life, we have done devotional service to extent and we fell down, and very quickly again, same lifetime we may come back after few years. Our next life, our next to next life, again we may come back. 2 lives in millions of lifetime. Is it quick or no? Very quick. Not even quick, very quick it is. So Krishna is telling very quickly you'll come back to your position in devotional service and you'll continue your devotional service. That much guarantee is there from Krishna. So desire correctly and try to go back to Godhead. Then you may think, see, a student, I'll try to give some examples to prove this one. In school, many students will be there. Many intelligent students will be there, equally intelligent. But some intelligent students, they'll utilize their time in studies, all these things, and they'll get good result. Some intelligent students, they may be far intelligent than those who got good result. They waste their time in other activities, chit chat, other whatever it may be, other activities, and they'll waste their time and they'll lose their career. Yes or no? Why it's happening? It's because of their previous life's karma is forcing them to act like that. Even though they are intelligent, because they have done good thing also, that's why they have got intelligence. They have got bad things also, that's why their karma is forcing them to act like that. And we'll take another example. Maybe all, I think most of us worked in companies. I think few of you are you all also working now. Some managers, they are very friendly. How are you doing? How is your this thing and you need any help? They'll ask like that. They're very friendly and they're qualified too. And some managers, they are qualified, but they're very cunning, cruel, and they don't support their team. Yes or no? Why it's like that? They're qualified, but they're not supporting. Some are qualified, they're very supportive and very friendly. Some are qualified but not supportive, very cunning and cruel. Why? Same way. They have done good thing in the previous lives, because of that pious activities they became manager. But they have done some bad actions also, that's why their mental thinking is pushing them like that. How much ever it is pushing, still we have got a free will to change all these things. How? A chance will come. Krishna sends many chances. When in the Gita Jayanti month, our devotees will go for book distribution and stand in the roads and temple sites. Many people will come, thousands and lakhs of people will be passing by. But only 1 or 2 will purchase. Everybody has got the opportunity. Krishna is giving, yes, you have got the opportunity, but nobody purchases. You got your free will, use your free will. What is there in this thing? Be little inquisitive and purchase and read. But opportunity is given for everyone equal. Yes or no? But only few are utilized. From Krishna's side, opportunity is given for everyone. Like that, Krishna is giving opportunities after opportunities is giving. Still we are not utilizing. Then what we should do? What we should do? Our mental, this thing, agony is so much, we are unable to change our desires, all these things. So, Bhaktivinoda Tagore has written a Gopinath song. In that song, he says, "O Gopinath, I can no longer tolerate the pain of ignorance and the cycle of repeated births and deaths. O Gopinath, I am confirmed servant of lust, worldly desires and awakening in my heart, and thus the noise of fruity work is beginning to tighten. O Gopinath, when will I wake up and cast this enemy of lust far away? And when will you manifest yourself in my heart? O Gopinath, I am your devotee, but because I abandoned you and thus forgot all my real treasure, I have worshipped this mundane world. See, Bhaktivinoda Tagore is praying like this. So, devotees, if they praise like this, and their desires will change from the heart. And it is told in the Shastra, Hrudi Rupam Mukhe Nama Naivedyam Vudare Hare Padodakam Cha Nirmalyam Mastake Yasya Ho Achyutaha Yasya Cho Achyutaha. Means one should keep Lord's form in his heart, in his mind, and Lord's name in his mouth, or mean to say in his tongue. Lord's food one should keep in his belly, and the water which washes the lotus feet of the Lord one should honor in his head. The garland which decorates the Lord, or tulsi leaf which decorates the Lord, and he should put it around his neck. If one who does anything, see, if anybody does all these things, then he is qualified to get the Lord Achyuta's form. Means he is qualified to get the Swarupya Mukti in the Vaikuntha Loka. See, all these activities, at least few of these activities unknowingly we are doing. I don't know how many of us keeping large form in our heart, I don't know. But mouth is knowing it consciously, unconsciously we are keeping, prasadam we are keeping in our bellies. Charnamrita we are taking, garlands we are honoring. Yes, we all got a chance if you do consciously. So, Narottama Das also is telling, O Lord Nityananda, when you bestow your causeless mercy upon me, so that my desire for material enjoyment will become very insignificant, when will that time come? See, Narottam Das Tagore and Bhaktivinoda Tagore are exalted devotees. They are pure devotees. They directly came. They are Nitya Siddhas, not Nitya Baddhas like that. They are Krishna consciousness from before birth itself. By birth also they are very Krishna consciousness. If you take Narottama Das as example, he came from a royal background. He is a Jamindar in West Bengal. He is a landlord. But he came to Vrindavan and he was assisting Srila Lochan Das Tagore. What service he is doing, you know? Any one of you who can guess? For Lochan Das Tagore, what service Narottam Das Tagore is doing? Very menial service. He is telling, yes. Narottam Das Tagore, every day he will go, and Lochan Das Tagore, every day he will pass his stool in one place. Narottam Das Tagore cleans that stool and puts nice mud, fresh mud, so that next day Lochan Das Tagore can come nicely and pass his stool. And he was doing continuously for many days. And Lochan Das Tagore is got doubt. What is this? Every day it's like this. And next day he came and hiding behind. And when Narottam Das is cleaning like this, Lochan Das Tagore immediately came and he caught him. Who are you? Why are you doing like this? Then Narottam Das Tagore replied, I am Nara Adama. That's why I am doing this one. I am the fallen soul. May the most fallen soul in the living entities. Then Lochan Das Tagore said, you know, you are not Nara Adama, you are Nara Uttama. That's how he became Narottama. From which background he came? He's a landlord Jamindar background from West Bengal. Jamindar. How much money would have been, you see? He left everything and is doing this service to his spiritual master. So much humble. That much humble, that much genuine devotee. He is telling like this. Why he is telling? Otherwise, Bhaktivinoda Tagore also is from Jamindar's background. He's actually High Court judge. He's a judge. He's getting so much money. He's filthy. Filthy rich he is. Still he's telling like that. He's a humble devotee. They are not telling for themselves. They are telling for us to follow these guidelines. And keep Krishna always in your heart. And so that all other desires will go away. You may ask now, Prabhu, once all the desires will go away, we don't get? No, again we'll take new desires and put it on our heart and it will start sprouting. Again we have to take and remove that desires. It will go on, go on, go on like this until we reach the stage of Nishtha or Ruchi. And currently we are in which stage? Yes? Anartha Nivrutti stage. So after that comes Nishtha. After that Ruchi comes. A taste for a devotional service comes. Till that time we have to face these things and we have to do all these things. Again remove all the bad desires which is hurdles in your devotional life. Remove all the desires from your heart and ask Krishna's favor and ask Krishna to come and stay in your heart. Of course, Krishna is already there in your heart. You are unable to recognize. Okay? I'll stop here. If anybody has got any questions, I'll try to answer one or two. Yes, bro. Yes. Yes, all are the devotees, no? If anybody is supplying food to our temple, unknowingly they'll get Ajnata Sukriti they'll get. Ajnata means they don't know. They're getting devotional service. That way they'll get. They'll be benefited. Anybody who's helping a devotee, anybody who's kind-hearted to a devotee, anybody who's seeing a devotee, why you think anything else? Just seeing the face of a devotee also, they'll get Ajnata Sukriti. Very quickly they'll become the devotees. Okay? Any other questions? ग्रंथराज श्रीमद् भागवतम की, जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की, निताई गौर प्रेम नमः।